Medo-Persia marched in to become the fourth world power of Bible history. As Daniel's dream foretold, it arose to devour much flesh like a hungry bear. Although different in culture and dress, the Medes and Persians functioned as a united power. The Persians were known for their archery and horsemanship. As their empire grew, so did their taste for luxury. Persian emperors built impressive palaces. The one located in Shushan is where Persian king Ahasuerus made the Israelite Esther his queen. Years before the event, Isaiah foretold the name of the Persian liberator of Israel, Cyrus. The prophet Jeremiah wrote that the holy utensils stolen from Jerusalem by Babylon would be returned. How did this happen? The words on the Cyrus cylinder explain.
I am Cyrus, king of the world. I return to these sacred cities, the images which used to live therein. I also gathered all their former inhabitants and returned to them their habitations.
True to his policy of religious toleration, Cyrus the Great allowed Jewish captives to return home and rebuild the Temple of Jehovah at the end of the foretold 70-year captivity. By the 4th century BCE, the Medo-Persian world power was coming to its end. According to Bible prophecy, who would take over? Daniel 7:6 states,
I kept on beholding, and see there, another beast, one like a leopard. But it had 4 wings of a flying creature, and there was given to it rulership indeed.
This beast represented the rapidly moving Macedonian or Greek power coming from the west. But who could move the Greek army swiftly to conquer Persia? How was his role in history foretold 200 years in advance? In Daniel chapter 8, God's prophet sees Medo-Persia as a 2-horned ram. Next, a male goat proceeds to strike down the ram and break its 2 horns. Who is this male goat? Daniel 8:21 answers.
The hairy he-goat stands for the king of Greece.
At the age of 20, Alexander had become the king of Macedonia. 2 years later, he set out on a war of revenge against the Persians. A brilliant general, he controlled a huge empire before he was 30. Like a swift and agile leopard, and with lightning speed, Alexander the Great conquered the world of his day. Thus, Greece became the 5th world power of Bible history, larger than any preceding it. Alexander's conquest spread Greek culture and language throughout a vast area. It was the language later used to record the Christian Greek scriptures of the Bible. At the age of 32, Alexander wanted to make Babylon his eastern capital, but it was not to be. Speaking in symbolic language, Daniel prophesied,
The male of the goats, for its part, put on great airs to an extreme. But as soon as it became mighty, the great horn was broken, and there proceeded to come up conspicuously 4 instead of it.
Alexander, at the peak of his conquests, was stricken with fever and suddenly died in 323 BCE. Alexander's vast empire was divided among 4 symbolic horns, 4 of his generals. The Greek Empire eventually broke into 4 separate kingdoms. The last of these kingdoms fell in 30 BCE to the next world power, Rome. Which beast would represent Rome? Daniel 7:7 describes it.
A 4th beast, fearsome and terrible and unusually strong. It was devouring and crushing, and what was left it was treading down with its feet.
Rome became the greatest world power of Bible history when it organized the most powerful army the world had ever seen, crushing everything in its path. Evidence of this powerful empire can be seen in Europe, Asia, and North Africa. The glory of Rome is echoed in the words of Augustus Caesar.
I found Rome built of bricks. I leave her clothed in marble.
The Caesars were worshipped as gods. Emperor worship was a test of loyalty for early Christians. An inscription from Asia Minor says of the emperor,
He is the paternal Zeus and the savior of the whole race of man, who fulfills all prayers, even more than we ask.
altars and temples were built for Caesar worship. Which Caesars are mentioned in the Bible? Augustus Caesar was emperor when Jesus was born, as recorded by the Gospel writer Luke. He also states that Jesus came to John to be baptized in the 15th year of Tiberius Caesar. Jesus' entire 3.5-year ministry took place during the reign of Tiberius. Both Luke and the Roman historian Suetonius state that Emperor Claudius ordered all Jews to depart from Rome. Claudius' successor was the infamous Nero. He was said to have set fire to Rome and then blamed it on the Christians. According to the historian Tacitus, Christians were torn by dogs and perished and burnt to serve as nightly illumination. During this persecution, the Apostle Paul was imprisoned for a second time and was likely executed at Nero's orders. The Arch of Titus commemorates the Roman victory over Jerusalem in 70 CE, a conquest foretold by Jesus 37 years in advance.